With the weekly All Signs love readings. Let's get some sage on the go. Sage just helps me to relax and get focused. When you breathe it in, you sort of like can't help but relax all your muscles like across your entire body. So it's a bit of a ritual. Oh, I forgot to look up the essential oil that I was recommended yesterday. I love this essential oils healing deck. It's becoming like a really, really good part of the advice. And I'm staying with the Starbright's Tarot with Greek mythology meanings. Okay. I think I'm going to go and play some tennis today. That'll be good. Especially when it's cloudy. Tennis is so difficult when it's like the sun's in your eyes. This is like the perfect weather. Hope you're having a good weekend. If you have to go to work, commiserations, but you'll be able to relax later. So yesterday I did all of the signs from Aries through to Libra. So today I'm starting with Scorpio. And I'll go right through to Pisces. It'll be Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius and Pisces. So if you're looking for Aries through to Libra, you need to go out and like look at the lives playlist. And it'll have the sign that you're looking for in the title. Okay. Spirit guides, universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me. For Scorpio's highest good, how is Scorpio feeling in this 3rd and 4th week of July 2025 with regards to the one they're thinking about, dealing with or manifesting in the future? 3 cards for Scorpio first of all, please. Ooh, Page of Pentacles. Okay, so Scorpio, it looks like you're ready to seek out new opportunities. And in a love reading, I would say that is, you need to try dating again. Maybe you're looking to, meet someone in the workplace and you're just like really open to that now. Or maybe you're looking to meet someone on a course that you've started. I started a pottery course recently, met a gay guy. Didn't exactly work out in terms of meeting partners, but anyway, we're like besties now, so that's great. You could be actively going onto an app, or letting people know that you're ready to date again so they can set you up with someone that they know. There's so many different ways to do it, but you're definitely open. Okay. Page of Pentacles is like investments of time, money and energy being offered You know, and that's what dating is, isn't it? It costs you money. If you want to take someone out, you're giving them your time. You know, you're asking them to give you their time. And it definitely takes a little bit of energy. It's very, very daunting. Waiting for them to pick up, waiting for them to collect you or pick you up. Okay. Ooh, King of Pentacles. So, 10 of Cups and the 4 of Wands reversed. What is going on here? Because they're both really good cards with the King of Pentacles upright and the 10 of Cups upright, but then we've got the 4 of Wands reversed. So there could be a little bit of instability at the moment with that 4 of Wands reversed. Instability within the home. I mean, the 4 of Wands is the 11-11 card. So that is, you know, it's two people who are in a very public union. So they're married or they're living together, which is, let's face it, as good as married. You know, you share your life together. You are a partnership. You're a team. It's a very, you know, exclusive, sort of solid union. It's meaningful. Everyone is aware in the local town. When that's reversed, though, it suggests that within a living situation, you know, it's like a leg missing from a chair. Like it can't function like that. So something's unstable to do with. Now, this isn't Pentacles, so it's not the money that's unstable. It's happiness within the home, fulfillment. And if this card was by itself, I'd say everything's very, very happy. Everyone within that family home is happy and their cup is full. However, it's in combination with the 4 of Wands. So because the 10 of Cups is upright and we've got King of Pentacles abundance, maybe you're moving house at the moment. Maybe you're scaling up, because we got that opportunities card. I don't feel like the family are unhappy. I think it's, you could be having to move a lot, or I don't know. I don't get the sense that, see, if that was reversed, I'd say, oh goodness me, like everyone's unhappy within the home, but it's not. So I'm just wondering if, and the King of Pentacles is upright. Money's good, but you might be having to change or relocate, something like that. Because there's nothing to suggest that people are unhappy, but it's just the stability is lost at the moment. So maybe having to move quickly out of a home, or, you know, like when you've bought a house and then suddenly like the people in the chain need to get into the house that you're leaving, and so you have to go into a hotel for a little bit, or it's something like that. There's something uprooting you guys, I think. But I think money's good. I think money's good, and I think everyone's happy. Could be a relocation. You know, when you get headhunted and you decide to move the family to another country for a year or something like that. That's interesting. Yeah, it's something positive, and it means, like, you know, a big shift for a while, but I don't get any drama. There's nothing dramatic here. Okay, so we've got the Hierophant, the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, there's definitely this. The Eight of Pentacles is growth and expansion, and the Four of Pentacles reversed is, it's like you've got to speculate to accumulate, do you know what I mean? So it could cost some money to relocate, or well, maybe it's like renovations on a house, you know? There's definitely money being spent here, but it's going to pay off in the end. This is like some sort of growth or expansion. And we're using, you know, our practical minds and our wisdom in order to make these changes. It's going to require, you know, spending some of those savings. It's to grow and expand, like how a company, you know, has to sell part of its shares to get outside investors interested. They give up some of, you know, their stake, and then you secure an expansion of the company and it takes off even further and even better. Like, it's something like that. It's like speculate to accumulate. You could be having renovations done on the house, you could be expanding the house, you could be moving to a different home, you could be relocating countries. It's something like that. And so it's gonna like mean that, you know, that you're uprooted for a little bit as a family, but I just think you're like happy. I think you're happy wherever you are. Let's see what's coming out for the one that you're thinking about dealing with or manifesting in. It could be that you're moving out and taking the kids with you, you know, or something about your family setup has changed in terms of you and your partner, but you're going to take, you know, the children to sort of house them with you. It could be like a mutual separation. I don't know. It's something, but the kids are happy. Everyone's contented. Okay, so showing up on the other side of the reading, so your person's cards, we've got the Lovers reversed and the Ace of Wands reversed. So if those cards were upright, I'd say, oh wow, this is like a rebirth and it's a divine union. Two people that love each other and they were supposed to meet and they were supposed to be together. When it's reversed, that's unrequited love. Okay, and a lack of a rebirth. So you could be dealing with a Gemini, but it could be that you and your person no longer feel the same about each other and you were married or living together and you had children. And it could be that that's who's showing up in your reading. But it might be, you know, just that it's run its course or that it was never right and you just amicably splitting up. Something like that. What's strange is I've not yet got cards of heartbreak or Eight of Cups walking away. That's why my mind wasn't going to separation, even though the Four of Wands was reversed. It was more like, oh, maybe there's like change to do with the building, you know, the home, the structure that you're all living in, rather than the relationship. And there's a lot of pentacles being exchanged here. So let's see what else comes out on this side. Oh, okay. So we've got the Death card reversed. We've got the Three of Pentacles upright, but with the Knight of Wands reversed. Five of Cups reversed and the Death card. Okay, it does seem like there's a definite ending. Some situation where people were cooperating has been turned upside down, possibly by an indiscretion, and meaning someone cheated, and then, you know, there's been a lot of regret, grief, sadness, loss, regret over that, but there's starting to be recovery from it, and, you know, the Death card with Scorpio there. Moving on. Yeah. When the Death card's upright, it's like you're taking the change in your stride, you're accepting of it, and you realise that you've got to leave this chapter behind. It's accepting the transition. Okay, so we've got the Empress reversed with the Knight of Pentacles reversed. So it could be, now the Empress doesn't mean that it's a female, but whether you are sort of the person that's more of a nurturer in the marriage or relationship, it could be that the nurturer is moving out, okay, that they're withdrawing their investment because they're just not in love anymore. And sometimes, guys, that happens, you know, it doesn't make you a terrible person. As soon as there's children involved, the judgment is unreal towards people that leave marriages or leave a home, but they're not leaving their children, they're leaving, you know, their partner because they're not in love with them anymore. And if you're not in love, you're going to take things out on each other. You're going to make the other person feel lonely from within a relationship. It's very unhealthy to remain like that. It becomes toxic really, really quickly. So it's not that you're a hero to stay and pretend to be in love for the sake of your children. People choose to do that, but then they end up cheating and doing all kinds of stuff because they're not, you know, they feel empty in some ways. You pay a price for trying to create a happy family picture that isn't genuine, you know? Yeah, so it seems like whoever the nurturer is in the family, whether it's, you know, the husband or the wife or, yeah, whoever the main caregiver seems to be, they're moving out. I think they're withdrawing their investment. It's time to, like, throw in the towel and move on. Okay, so we've got the Nine of Pentacles reversed. So it's going to be really, really tough to be abundant, you know, by taking yourself out of this living situation. However, money isn't everything, and money recovers. You know, financial situations adjust. I think you, Scorpio, are possibly selling a home. I think you are keeping the children with you. You know, this is like sounding very specific, isn't it? But Spirit gives guidance to the people that need it the most, and this is a huge change. It's going to take a great deal of courage, you know, to make this transition. These are collective readings. If you want a personal reading, you can go to my channel description and pay my PayPal, and I'll send you a 20-minute video all about you. It's £18, 1/8, if you want an individual reading. These are collective ones, okay? Yeah, so the courage card, the strength card is in the challenge position. In the outcome, going it alone, you know, it will be tough financially for a little bit, but that's to be expected. It's nothing that's unusual, okay? But if it keeps you sane and it means you're not arguing in front of your kids or being passive aggressive in front of your kids, then that's important, right? Children are not daft, you know, they can sense everything. So maybe it's not fun to pretend that it's okay when it's not. You can co-parent from different abodes, you know. It's 2025. If you think about it, moving into your own place gives you privacy to date. It gives you, you know, the freedom to have jurisdiction over your own abode and, you know, take back control of your life. You don't have to cohabit with your partner, which, you know, causes arguments or discomfort. If you're not talking or you feel awkward with each other, you don't have to walk on eggshells, you know, and you each are going to get part of the time looking after the children. So you get part of the time to be free, you know, instead of it all being on one person. So if you can do it, it can be like a lot better. The Fool card upright, okay, so this is about taking a leap of faith into a new chapter, not having any preconceived ideas about it, just going for it, okay, as if like you're just ignorant to whatever outcome. Just trust, you know, doves are innocent. It's going to be a new way of being, but it's not necessarily wrong. It could turn out to be absolutely fine. It could turn out to be a lot better. Let's clarify what went on here with that Knight of Wands reversed and that Five of Cups reversed and the Lovers reversed. Although you probably already know, Scorpio, with this being, I think this is you and the person that's moving out. So we've got two-faced, playing with your emotions, is insincere, not who you think. Yes, it's on totally different pages, maybe having to live a lie for a while. False hope, tries to sell you a pipe dream, no substance, evasive. So it's like you've tried to live the traditional, you know, conventional family life and everything that entails, you know, what it looks like to everyone on the outside, you know, taking the Facebook family, you know, perfect pictures. It's happening more than what we care to think. We feel under pressure by society, don't we, to do that. Spirit speaks, seek wisdom in prayer, but also have an open dialogue. Okay, so if honest conversations need to happen, then honest conversations need to happen. Hi, Angela. Storms of love, conflict is an opportunity for growth and change. And it doesn't mean you've got to grow and change living in the same household together. You know, you can calm down and learn to get along and be more harmonious, you know, when you've got your own space. It takes the pressure off. Yeah, there could have been a lot of conflict and drama in the time that you've been, you know, housed together. People will tend to push more and more. I know I do that. I will push harder and harder and provoke as much as I can because I need the other person to face reality. I don't want them to look away or be ashamed or gloss over it. I want them to have an honest conversation, and if we need to split up, then we need to split up. But it's no good looking away, you know, or moving your hand away from someone or finding excuses to be out all the time. You just have to bite the bullet and say, yeah, like things have changed and I didn't want that to be the case, but it's happened and I don't feel the same anymore. You know, you got to be honest, haven't you? It's uncomfortable, but it's uncomfortable for a few seconds and then it's been said. You can also say, I'm really sorry. I know this is awful, but I don't feel the same. And it's not what I wanted either. There are things I never got the chance to tell you. Okay, so perhaps like more conversation needs to happen, even though you've worked out that you're not going to continue a relationship, that you're not going to live together anymore. There may be some things that still need to be said. Yeah, people deserve, they deserve it. They deserve some dialogue, some honest, you know, good eye contact, honest, upfront, you know, open body language, and you need to just try to like say the thing, because it's much worse for people when you won't even look them in the eye anymore. You have to remember that when you first pursued someone, you thought amazing things about them, you saw a future with them. So they deserve that you look them in the eye and have this honest talk, like heartfelt, not icy, not prickly, not shut down, you know, not avoiding eye contact. It's really mean to do that and leave it like that. Make them feel repugnant or whatever. Not nice. You know, be grown up about it for all of 30 seconds. If there hasn't been dialogue recently, let's get a message. It's really, really difficult, isn't it? But if you're both keen to protect your children, you can both sit there and say, Mum and Dad are going to be, you know, living separately, but we love you and we'll continue to be a family, you know, with 2 houses, not 1. It just needs you both working as a team, and unfortunately a lot of people don't operate as a team, and it's not, you know, both of you's fault. It's one person that's toxic or something or bitter. But if you can sit there for your kids and just say, Mum and Dad are going to be living separately, but we love you and we're going to still be a family just with 2 houses, I think that just helps so much, doesn't it? It helps you as well as it helps you like mentally get your head around it. I'm single right now. I'm not attached to anyone. I'm not looking to get into a relationship at this time. So it's not about anyone else, you know, tempting this person away. And I genuinely do not see that on here. Like, I only thought about an indiscretion because it said the Knight of Wands reversed, but that could be someone who's lost libido, you know. We've got the Lovers reversed. So one person genuinely isn't in love here. Or has fallen out of love. They've realised, you know, they've realised their person doesn't feel the same and it's not going to continue. And I think they choose to be strong and move out. Let's get some advice. Let it flow and let it grow. So over time, everything's going to settle and things can flourish again. Okay, in their new situ. I have support. Okay, so it may be that you ask for help from parents, from siblings, from friends, neighbours. You know, you might need extra help with childcare. You may feel that your children need other people to talk to outside of you as well, about what's happening. And they can get that assurance, you know, from regular time with aunties, uncles, older brothers and sisters. They can get that reassurance from grandparents. They can get that reassurance from, you know, their friends' parents. Like, utilize that whole community that you've got around you, because people love to be able to help. I think when you worry about judgment, and you try not to involve anyone, you just isolate yourself so much, or you make it 1,000 million times harder for yourself and for your children. There's a huge support network there of people waiting to help. Let's get an essential oil for healing. If this is resonating, you might look at the cards and think, no, I know what that means, it's something else, but I'm not a fly on the wall, so this might be the situation for some people. Okay. Turmeric. Okay, turmeric rebuilds body, mind, and spirit. So you can get turmeric oil to go in your diffuser. You can use it topically in a cream, and you can also take supplements. Well, you can cook with turmeric as well. I don't know why they haven't put that on. Turmeric is really good for, it's anti-inflammatory, you know, it's really, really good for, I'm sure it's good for people with asthma, people with arthritis. And you get more inflammation when you're stressed. So I really like that it's suggested that. Let's get your positive affirmation, and then I'll get you a card to see what people adore about you, Scorpio. I am grateful for the many blessings in my life. Okay, so although this feels awful, there's so much that we've had over the years, and so much that we have that is going well. The worst thing that can happen to anyone is ill health, you know, or a child being ill, the loss of a parent, something like this. So if you think that this is the worst thing that you're going through at the moment, it probably isn't. You know, I'm not belittling it, because it's very stressful and it's huge change, but there could be even worse things going on. There really, really could be. You know, sometimes it's a matter of perspective. Oh, so Scorpio, what people adore about you is that you tell people that you care about them when they're not around. So they feel the love long distance. They feel that telepathically you are extremely well attached to them emotionally, that you care about them. They just feel it when they're around you, and so they're confident that when you're not in close proximity, that love is still there, it's still enduring, and they feel the benefit of that. That's a very special thing about Scorpios. You're incredibly emotionally intelligent as well. You pick up, Scorpions, you pick up on any little vibration on the ground, and You're very emotionally, like, intuitive. People benefit from that in your surroundings. Yeah, because my nephew's a Scorpio and he is so caring and so lovely. And I wouldn't say that he outwardly shows it, but you just know it. You just know it. It's true. Right, I know that was very, very specific, but if the cards to you are spelling out something different that's going on in your life, you know, that's hopefully that advice is still helpful to you. Please take care. Please give it a like, share, subscribe, follow, repost, support the channel. And I will see you in the next one. Right, we are going to be moving on to Sagittarius next. And you know, people don't always want to move out because there's another person to go to. They just want to not be feeling like they're walking on eggshells anymore. They just want their own space. They need to be able to breathe. Your home should be a sanctuary, and unfortunately, if you're not getting on with your person and you haven't been for a while, that is like chronic stress right there. Like, and it's just better for everyone when you move into a different place. You know, you need privacy so you can talk about what's going on and be authentic. You know, it's hard trying to keep up a pretense or pretend, or you know, keep your mouth shut, hold your tongue. That's really hard work. And then you've got to go out to work and you've got to like be normal member of society. No, like your home's your sanctuary, so you've got to find a separate place to be. If yeah, it's not because there's another person necessarily, it's just to just be, like, to just decompress and like breathe. Okay, Sagittarius. Let's have a shuffle, because that was a lot. See, I tell you what though, Scorpio, there's a lot of endings happening like every reading that I've done this week. And I don't know if it's because it's Mercury retrograde, but I'm mostly getting endings and people really struggling, you know, with it. So you're not alone. That's what tarot is all about. The tarot community isn't about posting perfect pictures and being unrealistic and making each other toxically unhappy. It's about being honest about what's going on with you. And varying red beards here. And getting support, you know. Making sense of it all. Being able to breathe out and say, this is what's happening with me. You know, let those shoulders drop. And not have to, like, keep up the pretense. Okay, spirit guides, universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Sagittarius' highest good. How is Sagittarius feeling in this 3rd and 4th week of July 2025 with regards to one they're thinking about or dealing with or manifesting in the future? 3 cards for Sagittarius, please. Okay, the 6 of Cups, and what is our fate? The 8 of Wands reversed. Okay, so this is a soulmate connection, and by that I mean someone who feels like they've always known you, and either that's because you're living together and you have children together, or you're in love with each other and you've had a long relationship, or you've lived together in a previous life, so you've just met someone you feel like you've known them forever. It tends to be like the sign of an established relationship though. Eight of Wands reversed. Now, if that was upright, I'd say there's fast action, progress, fast communication. This fire energy, you know, it's like change, progress, things moving quickly. But that's reversed. So there's some sort of delays or challenges or stagnancy when it comes to a soulmate. So someone that you're married to or living with. Blocks, delays, challenges. The Six of Swords reversed, yeah, it's very, very difficult to leave stuff in the past, to move forwards. There's some sort of unfinished business. There's something hanging in the ether that needs to be discussed and brought into the open once and for all. Those swords are thoughts, okay? They're fears, thoughts, anxieties, things that have been said in the past. It's causing, you know, you to be stagnant as a couple. That's an odd combination, because we've got the Three of Pentacles reversed, which is a lack of cooperation. We've got the Page of Wands, which is normally, you know, like being very, very naive, being very ignorant and ready to start down a path that you haven't walked before. So you have no preconceived ideas about it. You're just excited about it. The Four of Pentacles reversed, okay, so upright would be the miser. It'd be someone that's conserving time, money and energy. They're preserving their situation. This is outgoings. I think one of you is like really excited about something and they're just not getting cooperation, and it's on your side, Sagittarius. So maybe you're kind of like excited about some sort of venture or chapter or situation and you're not getting cooperation from your person. It could be a person or it could be a workplace. It says teamwork generally, okay? So 3 is the number of community. So maybe you just feel like you're enthusiastic to reach certain goals, because that's what the Sagittarian does. They find equilibrium, they find emotional balance in order to then pursue their goals with all their might. You can't go after what you want when everything's in a state of flux, when everything's upheaval and chaos and drama. You like to find equilibrium so that then you can shoot for the stars, you know? And it's like you're just not getting cooperation at all. I mean, you are the archer, you are in active pursuit of your goals. You know, you're fire, you are solar plexus activated, goal orientated, you like progress, you like change, you drive it. And that is very depressing when other people are like slowing that or stopping it or blocking it, pulling you backwards. That's very frustrating. We've got a King of Pentacles in the reverse, so that could be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or they could have any of those in their chart. Now, doesn't that look like their crown has fallen? This is someone that's usually a solid provider, but it looks like that's not the case lately. Five of Wands reversed, okay? So they're trying not to argue over this. There's a lot of conflict here, and it could be inner conflict or external conflict with others in the family or the workplace. They're really, really trying not to have arguments, but it looks like it's affecting their stability, their wealth, their finances, their ability to provide, their ability to be generous. They could have gone very insular lately. The Strength card, like, they could have depression because the Strength is reversed. There's a need to be emotionally strong through this difficult time, and it's proving difficult. If someone's not interacting with others, then they could have gone very insular. They could be very depressed. It's to do with work, I think, or their place as a provider. And look, all the pentacles here are upside down on your side and on their side. Okay, in the outcome, we've got the Eight of Pentacles upright. So, something's going to be done to right this situation financially. Okay, there's going to be investment of time, money, and energy into a course, a business, some sort of side hustle, or they're going to refine what they do and add to it. And that is like going to project growth and expansion. That's in the outcome, so that's really good. Let's get two more for the outcome. Right, the challenge is finding balance, finding equilibrium, balancing periods of rest as well as periods of productivity. Okay. You see this large ship is very powerful, but it's very slow. And then the small ship is weak and vulnerable, but it's fast and nimble. Okay, so it's like trying to find this constant state. It's the juggler trying to find this constant state of equilibrium, and this is being restless with the Four of Swords reversed. There's time to lie down and meditate occasionally. We don't have to constantly be on the go. So there is definitely a war of the worlds going on here. But the solid investment into building a brighter future. Let's get one more. Seven of Cups. Okay, where do we go from here? This is a blank canvas, okay, and there's many things around it that we could paint into this picture. Okay, so we're at a crossroads now where we're choosing where we go next. There's worse places to be than a blank canvas, do you know what I mean? Because you've got the ability to write the future that you want. That just was accidentally profound as fuck. Welcome into the chat. I don't do individual questions. These are collective readings for each zodiac sign. Just to let you know if you're new in. Right, let's clarify why they've got the King of Pentacles reversed, why they got the Strength reversed and the Five of Wands reversed. What has been going on here? Okay, so they feel like you've been emotionally distant. They have wanted to rekindle a passion, okay, for a long time. It's very important to earth signs, by the way. If this person has any Taurus, Virgo or Capricorn in their chart, it will really affect them if they feel like things are off emotionally, physically. They won't be happy with that at all, you know, make them depressed. Bad timing, too little, too late. Taken, not ready to love again. Empty. The truth is that you simply don't feel fulfilled. It's worth the wait to find true happiness. There's definitely been a lot of emotional distance in this relationship, and it's left someone feeling like a husk. And that sounds overly dramatic, but it's not. That's what's happening in a lot of individuals' lives, whether they're part of a family or whatever. It can sometimes pressurize you to feel guilty because you should feel fulfilled. You have healthy children, you have a home. That's beautiful, that you've put a lot of work into over the years. You have a devoted partner, so why are you not fulfilled? Why are you not happy? But sometimes people can feel just really like a million miles away from themselves, or from each other. And then it's like, well, what are we doing all this for? You know, life's rushing by. So there's something emotionally really complex going on here. Negativity, like a dark cloud above, you are depressed, extreme moods. They could be really struggling with their mental health. Being burned, afraid to love someone again, unhealed trauma runs away. There could be someone that has always struggled with depression. You could have a partner, Sagittarius, who is prone to. They could be bipolar. They could have childhood trauma of some sort that makes them go depressed, or I don't know, have mood swings. You know, they could be fine for months and then they could take a nosedive, and you just always known them to be like this. Afraid to love someone again, unhealed trauma runs away. They could be a self-sabotager, you know, when they start going insular and you try to get through to them and you just can't get cooperation from them at all. And it may not be personal to you, you know, but it affects you, number one. They may be like that with friends and family as well. Mental health is so widely overlooked when it comes to tarot. You know, there's a lot of blame on and acting like people are premeditated in everything that they do. They're not. Chaotic clarity. Amidst confusion and intense crisis, seek the light of understanding and resolve. You may need to have like couples therapy or counselling for this, if you're not already. Consumed, extinguished doubt by having open communication. You know, it's very, very difficult to come together without things escalating, you know, or spinning off orbit. So that's why you need someone neutral that's trained in lining up those styles of communication and interpreting what one person's trying to say to the other can be misheard, misinterpreted, misconstrued, and then it can all go like over emotional again. So you need that third party there. You need that third person who is trained to help that communication go smoothly and in a neutral environment. Because when the two of you are alone, you'll probably go more like out of control more quickly, but you'll stay more neutral and behave better, you know, when there's another person to do that mediation. Fighting for what you love, claiming what's yours. Love is a battlefield. Okay, so this implies that They're prepared to work on it, Sagittarius, okay? They're prepared to try to get back to where they want to be with this living situation, with this family dynamic. Oh, that's sad. Look, we were supposed to be us, not just you and me. Oh my God, this person, look at this, distant, empty. Consumed. Fighting for what you love. This person is just desperate to come together. Okay, but I think it's going to take more than like a regular conversation. Because there's complex set of realities here. But the good news is that they want to work on it, do you know what I mean? They want to. When is there going to be reconciliation between these two, please? The one that's showing up in Sagittarius' reading. Okay, so things are going to unfold how they're supposed to. So this is something that's been in the pipeline for a while. It's been coming for a long time. And we're just going to have to play it out, okay? We're not supposed to... Spirit doesn't want to share what's happening going forwards. Let's get you some advice, Sagittarius. Oh, hang on, let's get... in case you are not communicating well with me, let's get an unspoken. A new communication message. Obsessed. I think I'm obsessed with you. I think about you all the time, stalk your socials, and hope I run into you when I'm out. Okay, so that's a no contact message. I did ask Spirit for that person, what that person would say if they hadn't been talking to you, so maybe it makes sense to some people. I don't know. Right, advice for you, Sagittarius. Clarity of mind. Okay, let this all play out. You have lots of support around you, okay? Do not try to deal with this by yourself. Don't try to deal with this by yourself, okay? Hi, welcome in. Does it resonate? Thank you. That's really good. I'm glad. Look, it probably does make sense because look, we were supposed to be us, not just you and me, okay? So they have this desire to like to be close with you again, okay? You can tell that's what they want. Sandalwood and cilantro, okay? So sandalwood unifies body, mind and spirit. When you start to feel like you're outside of your own body or you're overthinking and you can't just be, you know, we're part of the animal kingdom, but our minds are the masters of us. And unfortunately, we become plagued. You don't see ants, you know, with their hands on their head, like on their knees, like distressed. They're just marching back and forth busily, oblivious to everything going on in the world. And sometimes I think humans wish they could be like that. I sometimes wish that my brain wasn't thinking all of the time. You know, it's nice to be and not to think sometimes. So bring it all back together with some sandalwood, okay? So you can have that in your diffuser. You can use it topically. I mean, you get that in aftershaves and perfume, sandalwood, don't you? And you can take supplements of it. Didn't think that was possible. Okay, cilantro, that's coriander, isn't it? Balances and expands the mind, so you can cook with it, although I can't stand the taste of coriander. I really can't, but some people love it. You can have it in a diffuser, you can have it topically in a cream, you can take supplements, you can cook with it, okay? So this is what Spirit recommends for you on a healing level. I guess I would take supplements if I thought that I didn't like to smell it or taste it. Or I could just use the sandalwood, which I adore. My goodness, I adore sandalwood. Let's get you a positive affirmation and then we'll find out what people adore about you, Sagittarius. Okay, so positive affirmation, please, for Sagittarius. Something Sagittarius could really do with right now. I am worthy of love, happiness, and success. I am worthy of love, happiness, and success. That's what you need to say to yourself on a daily basis. Say it several times a day. Say it during the night, okay? Because it's true. You don't have to be contented with just love or just happiness or just success. You get to have all three, okay? Right, what is it that people adore about Sagittarians? You have social intelligence, okay? I know when my friends are happy or sad, and I help them. See, that's what people adore about you, Sagittarius, okay? You can sense when people are happy or sad, and you'll actively support them. If you liked this, please give it a like. Please share the channel and share the video. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, and I'll see you in the next one. Moving on to Capricorn next. If you can hear the rattling, it's magpies outside. I honestly find that noise quite irritating, but they're very cute when they're bouncing around the garden. It's really loud. Okay. Hi, Natalie. Okay, Capricorn. Spirit guides, universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Capricorn's highest good. How is Capricorn feeling in this 3rd and 4th week of July 2025 with regards to one they're thinking about, dealing with or manifesting in? 3 cards for Capricorn, first of all, please. Straight out with the 10 of Swords. Okay, so Swords is pain, anxiety, fear, sadness. There's been a long cycle of pain here, but the good news is we've reached 10, which means it's coming to an end. Okay. Something's been very, very painful indeed. Hi, Super Cobra. Okay, so it does look like a separation on first glance, because we've got the 10 of Swords, so that's the end of a cycle. We've got the Empress reversed. That is Taurus and Libra. Okay, someone who's feeling less than. They don't feel like they're attracting abundance. They don't feel, you know, like they ooze sensuality or attractiveness. They don't feel like they're attracting love or wealth. It's someone who's really feeling down at the moment. We've got the 6 of Wands reversed, which is the opposite of victory and recognition and success. Being noticed, celebrated. Yeah, it's being ignored, overlooked. King of Swords reverse. Okay, so King of Swords, when it's upright, is someone who is full of integrity, acts of service. They love to help the community. They are a fantastic writer, speaker. You know, they're silver-tongued. Unfortunately, when that sword is wielded in the wrong way, it's someone who either blocks communication or communicates very, very harshly. The High Priestess reverse, so not being able to use our intuition, to follow our instincts, feeling lost, feeling in the dark about everything. 8 of Swords reversed. Okay, so 8 of Swords upright is mental imprisonment, but here we're being released from that sense that we're stuck. So if I read from back to front, it's very, very difficult for someone to see what's really going on. They feel ignored, they feel depressed. They've possibly been using harsh words. You know, an Empress shouldn't be speaking harshly. An Empress should be, you know, soft-spoken, beautiful, calm, serene, attractive, you know. You don't want to go towards someone who's having a massive kick-off. You want to move away from someone when they're like that. So whether they're blocking communication or saying harsh words or a combination of both, you know, it's stay the hell away from me vibes. That's what it's giving. Stay the hell away from me. Unappreciative jerk. Male or female. Right, Ace of Wands reversed with the 7 of Cups and the 10 of Wands reversed. Someone's dropping the burdens. They're like, do you know what? I'm not worried about this anymore. Look at that. The Tower was hiding. We've got a Tower. Okay, so Aries energy. What was existing, so an existing relationship, an existing setup, is crumbling down. It's on fire. It's collapsing. And we get to start with a brand new blank canvas, okay? And we get to think about what it is that we do want going forwards. The 10 of Wands reversed is like, screw that. I am not taking on more of this anymore. I'm not doing it. Okay, see, that's actively dropping those burdens when that's reversed. And it's been going on for a long time. Something's been a long slog. Loads of challenges. Loads of stuff going wrong. Loads of drama. And so they don't want to do that again. You don't want to do it again, Capricorn. You definitely don't. You are, you know, taking stock. You're letting the tower fall, and you are seeking out inspiration, okay, to create your future. So let's leave that on the top. Someone's been naughty. Someone's been very, very naughty, okay? So your person, the one that you're either, you know, thinking about or dealing with, they've got the Wheel of Fortune reversed. It could also be someone that you're manifesting in, but let's see. The Wheel of Fortune reversed is when you're stuck in a karmic cycle because you are not taking the red flags, or you are failing to change your behaviour, and you are the red flag, okay? So you will continue to experience drama or bad luck until you change your ways. Whoever this is that's showing up on this side. It's not you, Capricorn, it's the one that you're dealing with or manifesting in. There needs to be equal give and take. Okay, there needs to be 50% from one person and 50% from the other. Equal investments of time, money and energy, okay, on both sides for full cooperation, for balance, for teamwork, for something that's healthy. And we haven't been getting it. Either this is the person that hasn't been giving that to you, or this is someone else that you're manifesting in that hasn't been getting that from another, and they've ignored the red flags and continued with it. Right, there could be arguments when it comes to a soulmate connection. There could be competition, arguments, fighting, physical fights, or, you know, verbal disagreements, or you just can't seem to see eye to eye. And it's either what's fair and what's not fair. And it could be someone that you've been dealing with for many years, with that Six of Cups. Like long-term relationship, long-term living situation, or married. Now, you were showing up as the Empress, weren't you? Right, we've got the major arcana for Libra, okay? That the scales of justice are all out of balance. We've got a King of Cups now. King of Cups reversed. So someone's gone cold, nasty, cold-hearted, bitter. Not okay. The World card reversed, okay? So when that's upright, it's knowing that better days are coming. You have to take life rough with the smooth. When it's reversed, it's like we haven't completed a cycle here. The Ace of Swords is upright, so there's some sort of breakthrough, major clarity, the truth, a confession, major revelation. That sword cuts through the dark and what can't be understood. Suddenly, it's like a light bulb coming on, okay? So there is going to be change. But I don't know if it's going to be in the form of, like, you know, the relationship ends and you part company instead of staying in it and trying to fight for it. There's being, like, committed, and there's being stoic to a point where it's an actual fault. You know, some things, like, you need to just let go. Let that tower fall. Kick them out if they're not doing their half. Kick them out if they're making you feel ignored. or unattractive or blaming you for everything that's going wrong. That's a toxic person that's projecting their own insecurities onto you. The Death card reversed. You know, we're stuck. We're so stuck. This needs to be upright, okay? We need to be accepting and waving the white flag and going, you know what, I'm going to leave that chapter and I accept walking through those gates into new. And at the moment, we've got that reversed. So let's find out what was going on their side. If this is the one that you've been dealing with, what has been going on with them? Why is the Wheel of Fortune reversed? Why have we got the Six of Cups as the challenge and the Five of Wands? Drowning. You are going under and barely keeping things afloat. Ask for help. Okay, you can't do everything by yourself. It's so unfair when one person is doing all the heavy lifting in a relationship and the other is just running around making chaos and expecting you to constantly do double to make up for their like scattiness, their like selfishness, their chaoticness, whatever that comes from. It isn't functioning. Then we've got sneaky snake, going behind your back, deceitful swindler. So this person actively gives you the runaround and lies. And when I say you, it could be that this is your person, or it could be that we're talking about someone totally different that you're going to meet in the future, but their person messes them about. Okay, so take it how it resonates, but that can be lying, cheating, stealing. It could just be lying about where you are or making excuses to always be out and never home. Undecided, choosing between lovers, competing for affection. So, to be honest, it does lean more in the direction of cheating, because we've also got this a bad time and entangled. Unable to free yourself from a sticky situation, taking a step back helps you to see clearly. Bad timing, too little too late, taken, not ready to love again. There could be in a love triangle here. And that's why they're, you know, really not doing their half, because they're so busy running around doing the most and creating lies and, you know, always need to be somewhere else, always late coming back from places, always staying over, you know. You see the signs and you've got to react to that. You've got to, you know, stop looking away from the red flags as if you don't see red or something. Controlling. Power struggles lead to being manipulative. Yeah, someone is very, very manipulative. They're toxic. They're a really good liar. They've got so good at it that their shadow side is like calling for help. Do you know what I mean? It's like they become the devil. As long as they get away with it, they'll be tempted to do it more. Okay, so this is like someone who uses sex as an escape. Okay. It's very toxic individual, toxic behaviours. There are no real secrets in this world. Sometimes the answer isn't yes or no, it's wait. For me, see, if that was separate to all of that, I'd find that more romantic. But for me now, that's just like it's a matter of time till you'll be exposed. Because this isn't just someone that's not in love anymore. It's someone that's got really negative behaviours. And it's putting all the pressure on the other person that's trying to hold it all together. I wonder, Capricorn, if you've got children, if you've got a home, if you're trying to keep it all together. Even if you haven't, it's not fair to do that to someone and have someone else just like exploring new or exploring their shadow side and doing all the wrong things that they shouldn't be doing. It seems like it's been going on for a long time, and they're constantly like keeping their options open and like, do you know what I mean when I say it's like a form of distraction or escape? It's like, oh, I just can't decide like which one I'm gonna go for, or who I'm gonna like leave, or who I'm gonna like stay with. That is like running away, and then they start gaslighting you, making you doubt yourself, keeping everything tangled because they're not actually sorting out what's going on within them. And I don't think that that's the case in every situation. I think sometimes people are cheating because they're not in love anymore, but they don't upset their kids. They don't want their kids to like lose hope in love, and that love can be forever. And I totally understand that. I do. But this is like someone that's running away from themselves. Look how messy that is. That's running away from yourself, you know? That's someone that needs serious help. When's Capricorn going to meet someone new? Because I think that's what's going to happen here in the future. I don't think you're going to be with this person if this is resonating. Within a couple of weeks for some of you, winter time for some others of you, when you're ready for it, okay? So for some of you, that'll be next year. For some of you, it'll be end of this year. And for others of you, you'll be ready in a couple of weeks to meet someone. So everyone's different, aren't they? Everyone's in different places of like healing. So with tarot, there tends to be a running narrative, but your timeline could be slightly different. So for other people, this tower could already have fallen. For some people, it'll happen next week or in another month or so. So it tends to be that it resonates at different times for people, but it's generally the narrative is like we're all learning the lessons that we're supposed to. They're similar lessons, or they're the same lesson, but they're happening at slightly different wavelengths. Does that make sense? Let's get some no contact cards, because I doubt you've had a good dialogue about this. Oh my god, look at that. I'm addicted to the attention of others. I love feeling wanted and needed. I don't feel whole without it. Do you know what? That does seem like what's going on, doesn't it? I'm watching a program at the moment called Too Much. It's a series on Netflix. You should watch it, because I know a couple of people, and they're guys actually, who constantly need attention from more and more and more women. And it's to do with something quite dark from when they were young. I actually feel a bit depressed about that. So I'm going to leave that energy now, but let's get you some advice, Capricorns. This is about you. practice, okay? So practice holding loving space for people who are lost, for people who are foolish, that make bad decisions that end up burning us, okay? Practice holding space for that and disassociate yourself from it, you know, and forgive yourself for finding yourself in this situation. When you have loving space for people that are just lost souls ultimately running around, you know, you free yourself, you don't hold grudges, you don't hold toxic, you know, cortisol from anger, from bitterness, resentment, you let it go. Lavender, okay? Lavender soothes and supports. You can have lavender in a diffuser, you can use it topically in a cream, and you can... Oh, I love rubbing lavender oil on my ankles. I love that. You know, if it's that time of the month or you've been on your feet all day in a job, like for men and women, you know, like some jobs you're just on your feet all day, aren't you? And then your ankles are like puffy. Oh my God, like rub that on. I didn't know that, but you can take lavender supplements as well. Okay, better days are coming, guys. They are. Let's get positive affirmations for you. I am surrounded by positive and supportive people. I'm a positive influence on those around me. Okay, so you were a person before all of this chaos. That's their ish. It's nothing to do with you, okay? Detach from it, let go. Let it float up away from you like a balloon. And remember who you were and how many people appreciate you and what they appreciate you for. I'm a positive influence on those around me. There'll be far less drama, far less chaos, okay, in like 6 months' time, a year's time. You'll be back to being you again. What is it that people adore about you then, Capricorn? Your humility, okay? So the fact that you are so talented, that you are so beautiful or handsome, the fact that you are so intelligent, so wise, but you don't go around telling everyone that, okay? They just see that you are like quietly you. And it's very captivating and it's very attractive, okay? Your humility is very attractive. People adore that about you. Okay, take care of yourself, Capricorn. If you liked this reading, if you think it would help anyone that you know, please share it. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, share the channel, repost the video. I'm hoping to get to 1,000 followers by the end of the... Let's see if we can do it. And we'll move on to Aquarius. Yeah, that series on Netflix, it's called Too Much, and it's about this young American girl that moves to London. Some of it's, you know, some of it's really, really good, and then it gets quite like over... I think there's 10 episodes. It gets more and more complex, and then you realise like everyone's got issues. There's no one that hasn't. It's very like indie and kind of quirky. Oh, if you're sick of like societal norms and expectations as well, and you're feeling jaded by, you know, like the white picket fence scenario, watch Your Friends and Neighbours on Apple TV. That's a really, really good, gritty, It's filmed. It looks like a movie, like it's filmed so slick, but it'll be like therapy, honestly. It'll be like therapy because it just blows up the veil of like what a perfect family life is and how bullshit everything is. It's for people who are 40 plus, I reckon. People who like are past that thing of like, and everything's going to be perfect as soon as I get married and have kids. Okay, on to Aquarius. Let's have a shuffle. Okay, so if you've just come in, these are collective readings by zodiac sign, and I'm on the sign of Aquarius. I've done all the other signs except for Pisces. Pisces will be after this one. Whoops. Spirit guides, universe, and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Aquarius's highest good. How is Aquarius feeling in this 3rd and 4th week of July 2025 with regards to what they're thinking about, dealing with, or manifesting in? 3 cards for Aquarius, please. The Two of Swords, okay, so not wanting to deal with making a decision on something. The Fool, ready to take a leap of faith, okay, and then trying to find balance with the Juggler, trying to find equilibrium, trying to settle into that new role. So that's a bit of a turning point in a situation that was previously stagnant. We're taking a leap of faith and then we're trying to find our feet with it. The Empress reversed and the Magician reversed. Okay, so this is someone that feels lackluster, a lack of faith, a lack of abundance, a lack of confidence. You know, like it's all going to be a flop. Hopefully that's just a state of mind for a little while, or it could be, you know, on a practical level, that could be the case, but that will change. The Three of Swords. Oh, heartbreak. Did you take a chance on someone and then it just like failed massively? Because that's what it looks like. It looks like you looked before you leaped, then you leaped. And try as you might, it didn't work. You gotta forgive yourself for that, you know, you can't blame yourself. People do that all the time. My friend told me, my colleague, we became quite good friends last week, and she said her partner broke up with her the day before they were due to move into a house together. Like, they bought the house, and the day before they moved into it, he split up with her. And you would not believe how many times I've heard that. I think people feel like they're adulting. They feel like by association with someone who's functioning well, who's got a great job, you know, they're very classy. They think, yeah, this makes me look good. And then they get cold feet, don't they? And they realise like what they've actually got to do. In 2025, that is the most common thing that I'm hearing. Is young people getting a house thinking this is what they should be doing, and then panicking and thinking, what the hell, I'm too young for this, and backing out of it, you know, for good, not just like cold, not just a bit of a wobble, but for good, getting themselves fully out of it. Wheel of Fortune reversed. Yeah, someone's a karmic, or they're not escaping from a karmic. I'm going to take a flyer and say this is going to be the person that has let you down, though, that's encouraged you to take a chance on them, like a really, really big one. And then, you know, pulled the magic carpet out from under you and you've, like, fallen down. It's like in the classroom when the kids pull the chair from someone that's about to sit down, isn't it? It's horrible. What a nasty prank to do to someone, and dangerous. This is the adult version of that, you know? Yeah, let's get a house together. I didn't mean it. What the hell? The Star card. Healing. Regaining hope. I don't answer individual questions. I do collective readings by zodiac sign, just so you know. 9 of Pentacles upright, becoming independent. Becoming self-sufficient on their own 2 feet. Okay, so now I'm not so sure because... Well, we'll carry on and we'll get 3 cards for the outcome. But you're showing up as the Empress reversed. They're showing up as a single person. Well, yeah, they could have... They could have been living a lie and then they've decided to break free and be single. Oh my god, in the outcome we've got the Emperor. Now I'm confused because we've got the Emperor and the Empress. The Emperor's upright. It's about taking leadership of your life. Because I thought maybe this is someone separate that's not been heeding the red flags and they've been with a karmic and then they've decided to heal and break free and become single. They're taking... Also, either way, this person is taking leadership of their life, okay? Because you're the Empress, they're the Emperor. You're of equal status in the tarot deck. You are divine counterparts. So something's divinely guided that is making me think that you two are divinely guided to be together. So maybe that's not the person that let you down. Maybe this is someone that's coming in for you. The 4 of Swords is taking much needed respite. We've got the 10 of Cups reversed. The King of Wands reversed. The 5 of Cups and the Page of Swords, communication. So there's loss, grief, sadness, loss, regret. Someone's, you know, oh how the mighty have fallen. A King of Wands has been dethroned. The family are unhappy. There's a lot of regret. There's communication. With the Page of Swords. I don't know why I'm thinking like this, but it's like you took a leap of faith and then they let you fall into the fire, you know? And you're heartbreaking. This person on this side, they've become single. They got out of something toxic. They're now an Emperor. There's a lot of regret over, like, breaking up a family. Okay, take it how it resonates. It could be that the Emperor is the one that let you down. Or it could be that you've got an Emperor coming in, but it doesn't make sense really how there's a lot of regret here and a family that are turned upside down. You know what, it could have happened like that because the Emperor, male or female, you know, it could be an Aries or someone, could be an Aquarius, or someone that just was making their children live in a toxic situation for a long time. You know, and they're regretful about that. Not regretful about ending it, but regretful that they had them living with a psycho or someone that just was very dysfunctional. You know, and they're taking back control, but they have regrets about it. And they could be good. Let's read for both situations. If this Emperor is coming in for the Empress, when is that going to happen? If this is someone that the Empress has manifested in after tough times and heartbreak, stay positive about it. You will get your Emperor, okay? It could be that that is the person that let you down, and therefore I won't get a time in for that situation. Let's clarify why they've got the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Why did they withdraw from something karmic or toxic? Adrift, not willing to settle down or be responsible, time to commit and put down roots. You can't have an Emperor. Someone who's very successful, someone who's a solid provider, probably has children, probably has bills to pay, probably has a business to run, or, you know, very high up in an important organisation. You know, they could have grandchildren if they're an Emperor. You can't have someone messing you about and messing your, you know, the people that are reliant on you, the people that depend on you. You can't have someone messing you about like that. If this is the one that left you, the Empress, you know, they were being irresponsible, they were having a midlife crisis or something, and then they've decided like that was a huge mistake. Eternal renewal. In the cycle of life, understanding breeds hope for what comes next. Maybe there's going to be a reconciliation. Tender attentions with care and concern, approach gently, nurturing with soft, kind gestures. If you can allow yourself to not unravel when this person comes to talk to you about why they left and how it was a huge mistake, it could be the best thing that ever happens. You're getting back together, but don't go off what I say. Like, you have to judge that for yourself, okay? Lightning strikes, dismantle outdated ways of being to get a fresh start. It does point towards rejuvenation of a family here. Swept away, caught up in the romance, or clearing out emotions. Okay, someone was very envious of your situation and they were spying, and you know, a bit like single white femaling you, or yeah, whatever the guy version is of that. Someone who is an emperor with a lot of responsibilities and a very routine, mundane way of life. And I don't mean that they didn't value what they had, but it just became very predictable. As you get older, you start panicking and thinking, is this, you know, like, is this it? Like, you might look at other people and envy them for being footloose and fancy free. And, you know, it's not necessarily about getting with another person, but it's about what that person represents, which is freedom and being able to do all the things you've never done. You know, it's cliche, but it's there for a reason. It's something that happens to people, you know. Sometimes you feel taken for granted, or like that part of you has died, and it's not always the case, but they're definitely in deep regret now, if that's what's gone down with you in your situation. Look, endings aren't always endings. So sometimes it's just a pause. It doesn't mean that you have to stay apart. Losing you taught me love isn't about possession. Okay, so you weren't something that this person had, and, you know, and owned. It was your choice to be there. You weren't in a cage. You chose to be there. Now you can choose not to be there, and that is freaking them out big time. Major reflection, major regret. If there's been no contact for a while, this is a message from them, okay? You feel like home. Being with you reminds me of simpler times. You bring me so much happiness and peace. Need time to heal. Right now I'm in a space where I need to focus on my healing and self-love. This isn't about you, it's about me. Spoiling you. I want to give you the good life. I want to spoil you with gifts and trips, everything you could ever need or want. You deserve nothing less. Wild side. There's a side to you I haven't seen and want to. I want to see you let loose and get wild. Let's have some fun. Your perfection, your beauty amazes me. I'm not sure how I attracted in someone like you, but I'm forever grateful. There's a lot of feelings there. I normally only get like one card out, but yeah, there's huge regret here, definitely. You're going to get communication from this person. They've been watching and wishing things you could be how they were, or like that you could come back together like stronger than ever. Let's get you some advice. Right, there's a lot about stopping and letting sleeping dogs lie, okay? Let the dust settle. This needs some time now. Time apart allows time for reflection, and people, when they can't just come back, you know, it really does show them like how lonely they're going to be with this decision that they've made, how big of a mistake it is. Don't make it easy for them, but keep your heart open to potential reunion, okay, or just forgiveness. Look, coming together. Love your dark side too. It's okay to be angry with them. It's okay to be mad. It's okay to be frustrated as hell that they don't understand what they did, that you could have done what they did, but there might be part of you that understands why they did what they did, that maybe you've considered the same thing at times, you know? Let's get a positive affirmation and then we'll see what people adore about you, Aquarius. I radiate confidence and self-assurance. I am worthy of love and affection. I am a positive influence on those around me. Okay, what is it that people... Oh, wait. I didn't get you an essential oil for healing, did I? Essential oil for healing. Okay, you've got a few. You've got a whole bunch, hang on. Ylang ylang. Okay, you can put that in a diffuser or use it topically. Unleashes sensuality and heals the heart. Orange, wild orange, elevates and invigorates. You can put it in a diffuser, you can use it topically, you can take supplements of orange, and you can cook with it, of course you can. Roman chamomile promotes calmness and peace. You can put it in a diffuser and use it topically. Lemongrass alleviates and regenerates. Okay, so you can use that in a diffuser, use it topically, take it as a supplement or cook with it. Thyme promotes forgiveness and offers release. Okay, you can use that in a diffuser, use it topically as a cream. You can take supplements of thyme, you can cook with thyme, of course you can. Cardamom clarifies and uplifts spirits. Okay, delicious in rice, delicious in tea. You can take supplements, you can use it topically and put it in a diffuser. Winter greenberry showcases the power of letting go. Okay, there's a lot to do with forgiveness here, and having understanding and having loving space for this person, whoever this is. Use it in a diffuser, use it topically. Okay, let's get you something that people adore about you. What do people adore about Aquarius? Your creativity. I like to use my imagination. Okay, so you're actually really, really imaginative in whatever way that shows itself. You may also have untapped talents, you know, when it comes to painting or working with colour, pattern, shape. You may be a really good problem solver. You have to be creative in order to work around situations, come up with very different solutions. So okay, take care, Aquarius. I hope this resonates for some people out there. I hope you found it useful. I'm going to nip to the bathroom and then I'll be doing Pisces. Thank you for the loves. Thank you. There's a lot here about giving things time and potential reunion. It's okay to have a dark side. It's okay, you know. So stay positive about it. Being with you reminds me of much simpler times. You bring me so much happiness and peace. An emperor and an empress are divine counterparts. They're of equal status, so endings aren't always endings. Losing you taught me love isn't about possession. I don't answer individual questions. You can have an individual reading that you have to pay for. You can go to the channel description and then find the link for my PayPal, and I'll send you a 20-minute reading just for you. Or you can watch these collective readings for each zodiac sign. If I get to 1,000 subscribers, then I'll probably get enough watch hours to take super chats, and then I can answer questions in the lives. I'm just going to nip to the bathroom. I will be 1 minute and then I'll be back. Okay, sorry about that, I'm back now. If you've just come into the chat, I read collective readings by zodiac sign. Okay, and I'm currently on Pisces. If you want an individual reading, you'll need to go to the channel description and click the PayPal link to give me £18, and then you can have a video that's all about you. Spirit guides, the universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Pisces' highest good. How is Pisces feeling in this 3rd and 4th week of July 2025? with regards to the one they're thinking about or dealing with or manifesting in. 3 cards for how Pisces is feeling. Right, we've got the Knight of Cups reversed and the Death card reversed. So you could be upset over someone at the moment, Pisces. You know, not wanting to leave an old chapter, but not wanting to offer emotion to anyone new. You know, closed off to dating at the moment, I think. And it's due to something that's gone down previously. Okay, the challenge is the 4 of Wands. So there's something about the household, the home, the structure that you live in being unstable. You could have found that, you know, your living situation has become untenable recently. And therefore, you're in grief, you're in shock, you're in sadness. Yeah, it's causing you to be really overwhelmed and lost in thought. You feel very stuck. Let's see what's coming out for your person, the one that's on your mind that you're dealing with or manifesting in the future. Knight of Pentacles reversed, Judgment reversed, 9 of Cups upright, the Hierophant, the 9 of Pentacles. Okay, so this is a very single energy. We've got 2 nines. We've got the 9 of Pentacles, which is someone who's single and abundant by themselves. The Hierophant could be a Taurus, or they could have Taurus in their chart. They feel strongly that the wisest thing for them is to put their own happiness first, and therefore they're ignoring investing. They're ignoring investing into anything else right now. They're ignoring the judgment, the call to action, which is calling for a rebirth. They're not doing that, okay? This person's putting their happiness number one, their own contentment as an individual. I don't know if it's somebody that left you or this is a different person showing up in your reading that's coming in your future. Ten of Wands reversed, they're dropping the burdens. I strongly feel like this person has left a situation. They feel that they need to put their own happiness first. King of Cups reversed. Now, were they showing up as a court card? They weren't. It was all single cards, wasn't it? New beginnings. They didn't want a new beginning. King of Pentacles reversed. Ace of Swords upright. Leadership, Emperor, King of Cups reversed. They're dropping feelings. They're dropping money. They don't care. Okay? They're making a cold, logical decision to be someone that's the master of their own fate. Okay? They're taking control. They're taking the reins in their life. And that means becoming single. I know that because the King of Cups is reversed and the King of Pentacles is reversed, so it means outgoings of money. It means outgoings of, you know, empathy. Not outgoings like there's a lack of empathy, there's a lack of compassion. You know, we're going cold with that sword. It's like logical. This is what is like rational right now. This is what's intelligent right now. It's not about how I you know, feel guilty or feel sad or remember the love that we shared. It's nothing to do with that. It's just this is what needs to happen. And we've got all these nine of cups. It's for their own happiness. Okay, they're not happy with the responsibilities that they have been subject to. Nine of Pentacles, an Emperor can certainly get divorced and have enough to go solo. We've got the Star card and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so if someone is, they're chasing, you know, wish fulfillment. They're trying to get out of a cycle. They're trying to create change for themselves. They're taking leadership to improve their satisfaction in life as an individual. If you're not happy in yourself, you'll become mentally ill. And if you're mentally ill, then you can't, if you're depressed and, you know, you can't get off bed, you can't look after your kids, okay? So it's not wrong to put yourself first. If you ignore your own well-being, if you lose your sanity, how the hell can you look after anyone that's dependent on you? You know, like, there's such a stigma over it, but it's the truth, isn't it? The Ten of Swords upright. It's been tough. It's been a painful cycle, but it's at the end, which is good. 10 is the end of a chapter, the end of a cycle. Nine of Swords reversed. Nine of Swords reversed is dropping the anxiety. Okay, something's been really painful, but we're dropping the anxiety now. And that will happen when you take back control of your life, you take leadership, you don't just feel like a victim to everything that's happening. Let's clarify what's gone on with them. Why were they overloaded? Why were they burdened? Okay, they felt overly controlled. Someone needed to be right all the time, was overly possessive. Okay, and this was like really crushing for them. They need time to heal from being in a very controlling situation. Magic within. Create a space for personal growth and self-discovery. Okay, they lost themselves through this relationship, this connection. Beyond compare. Don't compare your love to anyone else. It's unique. They could have been, you know, someone that is followed, that their messages on their phone were checked. A very jealous, possessive person. I mean, unfortunately, behaviour like that pushes people further away, because if there's no trust there, if the trust is being eroded in a marriage or relationship, then, you know, what have you got? And then you think, well, I might as well cheat then, because you're controlling me that much. You know, I'm not a bird in a cage. Not that we should have birds in cages, but treating someone like that is not okay. That suggests that you've got to trap them and that they don't genuinely want to be where they are. If someone genuinely doesn't want to be where they are, you know, and you're trying to trap them, I'm not talking about people who it's just upsetting and their partner just doesn't love them anymore and they've not done anything to deserve it, because that is 9 times out of 10 the situation. But if you are creating a hostile living situation, if you are overly demanding, overly controlling, if you don't let people breathe for themselves, if they have to eat, live, breathe, sleep you, and you're trying to dictate their every move, you're not creating the environment that they want to be in anymore anyway. You know, I won't lie, I still check up on you sometimes. They're getting stalked by their own partner, for goodness sake. No wonder they want to get free. I'm not saying that this is your person. It could be in some situations, it could be a lack of trust or a loss of trust, reciprocity, and therefore you start to check up on them. Maybe they're the ones that are wrong, but something's been very, very difficult on both sides here, and I think it looks like, Pisces, you're struggling to let go. You're struggling to trust going forwards, and this person can't wait to let go. And wants to move forward. So it could be that this is your person. If there's been no communication for a bit, let's see what they've got to say. Is it true? I heard you were dating someone. Is it true? Please tell me it isn't. I mean, if someone's got to the point where they're exploring dating other people, I'd say that they're done with their past. I really would, but sometimes you leave because you think it's the right thing, and then you can't help but check up on the other person, can you? That could be also what's happening. It could be them that's doing the stalking, and you're tempted to have a look and see if you've moved on or not. Let's get you some advice, Pisces. Because you've got the Four of Wands as the challenge, the Eight of Swords, you feel trapped, you feel mentally imprisoned. You've got the Death card reversed. I think you're just reflecting on what's gone down and you're not open, you know, to be with anyone else anymore. Or at least right now. Content with what I already have. Try to think about what you are happy with at the moment, Pisces. Try to remember what is going well. If you've got your health, your physical health, if you've got children and they've got their physical health, if you've got parents and they've got their physical health, siblings, friends, really, really good friends, if you've got a good job, think about what is going well. You know, think about outside, you got fresh air, you got freedom. Loads of people haven't got basic stuff that they need and require to thrive. Love hurts, okay, and the ending of love really, really fucking hurts, but we have got a lot to be grateful for when you see what's going on in the world. We are rich in many, many different ways, you know. All things are possible with time, guys. Be content with what you already have, and you will attract in, okay? Whether it's this person that left you or a new person, you will be fine. You just need some time. Hang on, let me get you an essential healing oil. Time promotes forgiveness and offers release. There you go. Okay, so you can put that in a diffuser. You can use it topically in a cream. You've got supplements of time that you can take, or you can use it in your cooking, of course. Time's really nice on chicken, isn't it, and carrots. Positive affirmations. I'm capable of creating a life filled with joy and happiness. I trust in my abilities to overcome any challenge. What do people adore about you, Pisces? What do people adore about you? Your perspective, okay? You give good advice to people in your life. You have a good perspective on things. Okay, so it seems like you need to allow other people to be there for you in the same way. But sometimes when you're too far into something, you can't give yourself that perspective. Okay, someone else needs to play that role for you in this case. I hope this resonates. If this is a separate person that's coming in the future, when's that going to happen for Pisces? Because that is possible. But I feel like it's your person that's left you and you're struggling to get on with it, and they're like wanting to get, you know, move forward, but possibly checking up occasionally. When you're truly ready for it, when you finish grieving for this current loss, okay, something's going to come in for you that's amazing. All right, take care. Take care of yourself. I mean that. Anything you're going through, I've been through it, trust me. Don't forget to give this reading a like, share, subscribe, follow, repost, support the channel. If you think that someone you know is a Pisces and is going through this right now, please share it with them. Hoping to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the summer. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Okay, find different ways to cope, to survive, hang out with good friends and family, get outside in nature, put on some, you know, TV that's good. Get things booked in for the rest of the year, pursue your hobbies, cross things off the bucket list. Don't stop your life for anyone, okay? You deserve to be happy.